Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Otsego City Council meeting. Tonight is Monday, March 23rd. Audra, can you have our record show that our assistant attorney is present, our city planner, our city engineer, all council members, our assistant city administrator, and our city administrator. At this time, I'll ask you all to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our first item of business this evening is the open forum. This is where you can come to the podium, state your name and address, and limit comments to 5 minutes or less. Would anyone like to speak at this time?
Kathy Coles, 15613 90th Street Northeast. Here's my monthly picture of no fence over at Coburn.
Dan, will you give an update either now or?
Mayor, with the change in seasons, we were going to reach out to Coburn's and see if they can advance their efforts to get that fence installed. Again, the last update we had was they were seeking quotes. So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Council, Mayor.
Hello.
Sorry I haven't been here. I've had family issues the last couple meetings and I miss seeing you guys. So glad to be here. Just first of all, I want to let you know that today our administrators down at the Capitol in that city zoning preemption bill did not make it through committee. So it was a 5-7 vote. So we're happy that that is not going to be put forward to any other legislative body. So happy about that. I know the mayor is probably interested because all the mayors of Wright County were against it and we're told to talk to their legislators. So thankful for that. And I guess the biggest thing that we have going on with the county is it's in my district. I'm very excited. About 8 months ago, I had the pleasure of having Adam, your Adam, Albertville Adam, Steve, come together with our administrator because we have, we're thinking out into the future and we're seeing how everything's blowing up out here with housing and people. And we also know with your Costco going in, there's land that's starting to be scooped up. So we talked about, a satellite government center. We asked Adam what you guys had. We asked Steve and we asked Albertville, and we did a lot of due diligence looking at like what would be easy to access. And Albertville had a piece of property that it's a very great location that would benefit all of us. And if anybody's familiar, it's the old Highland Bank. Peekaboo Cafe is right there now. It's right next to the Taco John's convenience store. And then it butts up against the post office, which we figure is probably going to go away in the future at some point. And then maybe we would be able to buy that land as well. But this is a really nice piece of property. Our thought was buy it now while it's still affordable. And it was nice that Adam Nafstead was holding cover over because he's been getting a lot of phone calls from developers, and because of the area, this area growing so much, knows it will be a great value to the cities, not only to Otsego, Albertville, and St. Michael, but also Monticello, Clearwater, Maple Lake, because Maple Lake uses the freeway on 37. And what it would be a DMV. We would have HHS use it. We would have probation use it, And then it would be like a sheriff substation. So like we're thinking a paddy wagon because, you know, the deputies out here have a long drive to get to the jail and to use the services over there. Now, we purchased a property. We're very excited. It's a big block. We would love to say that, you know, in the next year or two that we would start building it. That is not the case. Albertville has already been getting calls and letters like, this is great. When will the DMV open up in Albertville? This is a 3 to 5 year project. Our intent was just to make sure that we get a really good price for some property because we know how attractive the property is in that area, especially once we get that construction project done. And with Costco going in, we know that it's going to be a very attractive place for developers. So yeah, we're really excited about that. It's going to be a great addition in the future for this area for sure. And so thankful for Adam for helping us out in this project. And yeah, we're excited about that. This is great. And as you know, that the projects are going to be coming in hot and heavy. I just want to let you know that anybody that's traveling from Monticello to Elk River is going to have a heck of a time. There is really no good detours. So make sure you use Google Maps if you got to get to Buffalo. I know there's some people that use 39 and go down at 25. 25 is going to get a major redo with some, I think, three roundabouts for sure. For sure, 37 and 25, which I think a lot of your people use. And then the one on 25 and 113, which is by the apple orchard, and then one by the hospital. So the detours are going to be very tricky. And so just want to let anybody that needs to go to Buffalo to be aware that since starting in April, that's going to be a project. You know, we know the 37 project's going to be ramping up here soon. Albertville 19 is going to be heavily used because we're also right after school. They're going to be doing Main Street and they're going to be doing 50th, which is in front of the middle school west. So that's going to put all the traffic on N19. So anybody that from this end of Otsego that needs to get into Albertville, they need to be aware that it might be tricky. So if we can get through this year, I think we're going to be a lot happier. It'll be nice to have those roads done, but those are the growing pains that we're going to see coming up here in the summer. So, but otherwise things are going well. We've been down at the Capitol for various items for the county. And we're hoping, we've heard from many people that not much is going to make it out of the session this year. There probably will not be any bonding bill, which is very unfortunate, but maybe we will get something. Most things are not going to make it through the House because it's an election year and they are hoping to bide their time to see who gets control of the House. So it's been an interesting year for sure. So, but yeah.
Does anyone have any questions?
Oh,
Yes, go ahead.
Jeannie, thank you for all that. I was wondering how many acres is that parcel? I guess
It's not acres, it's 2 lots because it's the lot that has the building on it, and then it's the lot right next to it. So it's a nice piece of property because of the lots, and it will fit our needs in the future. And then it is nice to know that if we decide at the last minute, you know, if something would happen with the building for the post office, we could expand. But for now, it's a perfect lot size. So we were very happy with that lot size.
So that's kind of by the post office and the gas station and the meat markets over there.
Yeah, over there, it butts right up along the post office, and then Albertville owns the old fire station, which is a soccer place
Hmm.
that butts against it too. So yeah, right in that area, and it's going to be nice because it'll be with that roundabout. It'll be easy on, easy off for our residents of Wright County that live in Monticello and Otsego or Clearwater. But then like all of our Otsego people, St. Michael, it's going to be a really nice piece of property.
Has the county done stuff like that before, having satellite type things like
No, other counties have, like Hennepin County, Stearns County. And it makes sense just because the more population we have to be able to serve them better, and then they don't have to drive all the way to Buffalo. It's getting a little trickier with more traffic, and yeah. So, and we wanted to think ahead instead of 5 years down the road saying, oh, we really should do this. So this is the first time that I know of that Wright County's thinking ahead. And so very proud of that because it's the way that we can save money for all of our constituents.
Good deal.
Think ahead. And even if we don't do this in, let's say 5 years, we can always sell the property and we aren't going to be out any money.
Sure.
So,
it's a good spot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other
Madam
comments?
Mayor? Yes. Jeannie, do you have a date as to when they're going to start on County Road 37?
No.
Okay.
I think as soon as possible. Isn't it around April? They're thinking once the restrictions are off.
Mayor, maybe Ron has a better answer, but I would assume once road restrictions are removed.
Yeah, they're going to be waiting for road restrictions to come off and then they'll start working on that.
Thank you. Thanks, Jeannie.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Call me if you need anything.
Will do. Thank you.
Right? Any other comments?
Yeah, Gabe Davis. Got a question on Wednesday. You guys are going to have a special meeting for the new fire chief. Is that that you're going to decide Wednesday night who it's going to be?
We have interviews on Wednesday.
Wednesday. So when does the decision get made on who you guys choose?
That would depend on our interview process. I guess I'll look to staff on this one.
Mayor, I would say that, so interviews will be held on Wednesday, but final approval of hiring probably won't be until April 13th.
April 15th. Okay. How many people applied for the fire chief position?
18 in total.
18. And how did they get cut down to a couple?
I went through and I scored them based on the job description. So based on past experience or education, there's a criteria that I'm happy to share if you're interested in it. It basically breaks down a basic way to have a uniform way of comparing candidates, not necessarily by where they come from, but years of experience, relevant things that we're looking for in our job description.
Was there any in-person interviews? Were they done on video or?
Yep, we did some speed interviews through Zoom. That was with about 8 candidates. And then we narrowed it down with area fire chiefs, and we interviewed 5 people that we made a recommendation to be coming to the this coming Wednesday meeting.
So were there like 5 people there?
But there'll be 2 individuals at the interviews on Wednesday, but there was 5 at the last one where we had the area fire chiefs helping us.
Okay, and who was all in the committee involved in cutting them down to a group of 5?
It was myself, City Administrator Adam Flaherty, Interim Fire Chief Mike Scott, Rogers Fire Chief Patrick Ferens, Albertville Fire Chief Eric Bullen, and Elk River Fire Chief Mark Dickinson, and then our Public Safety Commission Chair, Dave Greenman.
Okay, so the city council was involved in any part of that?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Any other people for open forum? All right, we will close open forum and move on to consider our agenda for approval. Does anyone have anything that they need to add or delete?
Madam Mayor.
Assume we need to add. Yeah, okay, Ryan.
Yeah, I was gonna add item 6.1, the condo suites Otsego CIC.
Mhm.
And then I will also bring down off the consent agenda, item 3.3, we can make that 6.2. And with that, I would move to approve the agenda as amended.
There a second?
Second.
Motion by Ryan, seconded by Corey. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to our consent agenda, a motion would be in order.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Ryan?
I move to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, seconded by Tina. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next item is item 4.1 under Parks and Recreation Lily Pond Park Renovation Project.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Very excited tonight to present the bids that we had received for the Lily Pond Park renovation project. I hope you guys got a chance to read your packet. It had some background information from last presentation, kind of going over the scope of the project, explaining that we try to, rehab our parks after 20 plus years. Comprehensive approach that includes the playground, the trails, the courts, site amenities, etc. We received 12 bids, which was outstanding. I would say on typical park projects, we're excited at 4 to 6. So to see that many come in was outstanding for the city, and it worked out great. I mean, obviously you saw a variation in the bids of over $200,000, right? So it really worked out to have that comprehensive approach and to have that bid pack out there like that. And with those numbers coming in the way they did, we were able to include every aspect of the project, even including the alternate zip line that was proposed in front of the commission and recommended to the council. So that's in the packet tonight, as well as accepting the bid from Matt Bullock Excavating out of St. Michael. So at this time, if there's any specific questions, I'll open it up to council. Pretty straightforward overall. Obviously, the total project cost is $516,390.80. The CIP budget was $502,000. So obviously we saved a good amount of money, and estimates were worked in our favor this time, which I'm happy to report. So
Council questions for staff? Otherwise, a motion.
Yeah, Mayor, I'll make a motion.
Tina?
Motion to adopt resolution 2026-25, accepting bids and awarding contract to Matt Bullock Contracting Company, Inc. for the Lily Pond Park Improvement Project in the amount of $250,000, $143.17. You want me to make the
Second.
one too? Or-
We'll just do it one at a time. So,
I'll second.
okay. Motion by Tina, seconded by Ryan. Is there
and
any
I-
discussion? Sorry. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Madam Mayor, I'll make the second motion here. Motion to accept the quote from Midwest Playscapes and to authorize the purchase and installation of the zip line equipment for Lily Pond Park in the amount of $45,802.80.
Second.
Motion by Tina, seconded by Ryan. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
thank you. Thank you guys. Exciting times. This is the first zip line in the park system. So we're pretty excited about that. It'll span about 100 to 112 feet, depending on the fall zone. So come take a ride, and remember to be at Egg Hunt this weekend.
Yes.
Thank
Are
you.
you,
Thank you.
are you going to go on the zip line once?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
thank you.
All right. Moving on to city council reports and updates. First item is heritage preservation. Corey?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm getting used to my new way of doing things here. So,
Doesn't have paper.
no, I'm trying to be electronic.
Attaboy.
Trying. Heritage Preservation met on March 10th. We took care of annual business with electing officers. Planner Licht joined us in the meeting and helped us set goals for the year. We're going to try to do that annually now. Thought it went really well. We also discussed encouraging the commission to help out with a project that Chief Scott asked for the fire station. So it went well.
Thank you. Next item is Park and Rec. Michelle?
Yeah, so obviously we passed the, or approved the, expenditures to approve Lily Pond. That was one of the items. I have to say that Parks and Rec has been very busy. We've been working on, or they've been working on, the master planning. So we did have a special meeting in regards to, the master planning for Prairie Park as a group on, March 9th. That was the last time we met on Parks and Rec. So next meeting is scheduled for, I believe, the 14th, or the 7th, 14th, excuse me. Nope, 21st, excuse me, on the 21st. And then this weekend, for those want to do the Easter egg hunt, he just mentioned it.
Yeah, we're gonna all mention it as we go through.
Everyone said it to say whether or not you can go. I'll be there. Check
There.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah, exactly.
Be
So,
there.
that's it.
What is it?
Thank you. All right, next is Planning Commission. Brian.
Madam Mayor, the planning commission did not meet.
Next is Public Safety. Tina was absent, so I will take that. Our updates were that the station was moving along as planned. Actually, some things were moving along a little bit ahead of schedule with anticipation of also getting our new trucks delivered in May. We talked about a map that Chief Scott had put together for us, showing 8% of the calls are actually coming from the treatment center out of our full call volume, which then led to a good discussion with Sergeant Altman's talking about once the new chief is hired, meeting out at the treatment center. He meets out with staff there twice a year and just talking about maybe mitigating or what we can do as a team to address that large call volume. So 8% of calls total come from that. It was also shared with the group that the Elk River chief announced that he will be leaving in July. The Albertville chief will be leaving in August. Let's see. Then we talked about the interviews, which Sabrina just shared how they kind of worked their way down, and now here we are we'll have 2 that we'll be interviewing. Sergeant Altman's will maybe share with it, but also his update was just talking about working with the Wyndham Hotel here in town with lifeguard procedures and safety training. They had an incident that he had shared. So there also was elections. David is the chair again, vice chair is Dan Freeberg, and secretary will be shared with Kyle and Jim, which we had welcomed him. That was his first night as a new commission member. That's what I have. We are still under council reports and updates. Does anyone else have anything? My update was going to be that I was at the Wright County Mayor's Association meeting and was going to share what Jeannie shared. So you all got the update on that. So that was last week. All right, moving on to item 6.1. That was on the dais here. That is for the condo suites.
Mayor, this item was added at the request of Boyd Delansky, who are the developers of the Otsego condo suites located at 70th Street and Cadler Avenue. You'll recall these are 14 buildings that were approved 2024, I believe. The intent of these is that each building can be divided into multiple units that small businesses could come and buy to operate from, plumbing businesses, contractors, etc., where they basically need a desk and some storage space. Another part of the development is being marketed more towards the car condo or luxury garage type scenario. In order to facilitate the individual ownership of these spaces, they need to divide each building into condominium suites, which is done through a common interest community plat. We have in the subdivision ordinance that common interest community plats need to be reviewed by the city council because they do deal with issues related to utilities, access, etc. It doesn't change the use, doesn't change the number of units or the intensity of the activity, but there are elements that the city should review. These are all spelled out in a declaration that city staff has reviewed that gets recorded with this CIC plat. And so we have two resolutions for you to approve the two separate condo associations for the Otsego condo suites.
Questions for staff? So Dan, did this process change along the way, or why was this not adopted originally in 2024?
So they just didn't have it set up yet in order to proceed when they actually did the platting of the property.
Okay.
They did the platting, got the construction started, have their documents in order, they're selling units, and now that they're working that through, they just brought this in to city staff within the last 3 weeks. So we are expediting this review for their convenience.
Okay. Other questions?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, I just have a kind of a quick question, just for my own understanding, because if a homeowners association were to come in, they can create an association after the fact, and we have no review process for that. Is that correct?
Correct.
So what's the difference between that and the CIC process we're doing here?
Mayor, so essentially they're dividing ownership of a piece of property. The homeowners association is a group of individual property owners collectively agreeing to a contract on how the property is going to be managed, but they still own their individual properties.
Right.
In this case, they're not owning, they own the space within the building, but they don't own the building itself. So there are some differences between the two.
Okay.
Any other questions? Corey?
Mayor, Dan, does that have any, it's more of a county question, I guess, tax implications with this?
That'd be a question for the assessor. I would assume not. Again, the value of the construction's not changing. The value of the property's not changing. It may end up causing increases in the property values because as the individual units are sold, so
Yeah.
you have different ways to measure value within the property. But again, if the council's interested, we get more information on it.
Okay, we're just curious.
Any other questions?
So we're just changing how we're seeing the property as.
From an ownership standpoint, correct?
Okay, all right. Sounds good.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Ryan.
I move to adopt resolution 2026-26, approving the CIC plat number 171 condo suites Otsego trades, and adopt resolution 2026-27, approving CIC plat number 172 condo suites Otsego classics as presented.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, seconded by Tina. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item 6.2. Ryan, you pull that down from item 3.3.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I oppose this action because our city is able to receive excellent service from our existing contract providers at a price point that is cost efficient for the taxpayer. If approved, the total cost for owning a fire department will increase to $16,091,637.10.
Any discussion? Corey? Comment?
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve pay application number 15 in the amount of $667,470.12 for the work completed on our fire station project.
Second. Motion by Corey, seconded by Tina. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-1. All right, we are still under staff reports and updates. Sabrina?
Thank you, Mayor. We are closing up some recruitments, so I'm gonna embarrass Jake, and Jake actually is here tonight, who will be joining us next week, and I'm very, very excited. And then we also have some other new faces that will be joining us in utilities and some other seasonals starting pretty soon. So please expect that in the next couple meetings, seasonal hires. So
Welcome back, Jake.
Welcome.
Congratulations on your
Glad
new
to
role.
be back.
Yeah. All right, Adam.
Mayor, Council, a few updates tonight. Valuation statements, if you haven't seen them in your own mailbox, I did see them in mine, so those should be out in the public eyes. And just a reminder, the local Board of Appeal meeting is on April 22nd at 6 p.m. I'd like to thank Commissioner Holland and Wright County staff for coordinating the event last Friday afternoon. Attendees included Congressman Emmer, Congressman Stauber, and Congressman Graves from Missouri, who is the chair of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee at the federal level. So it was nice for our I-94 coalition group and area city leadership to be there to hear them speak on the importance of those federal dollars into our local economy and providing transportation improvements. So reminder, interviews Wednesday for fire chief finalists. The compost site will reopen in April, so residents can continue use of that site. Similar hours. There were some minor changes to that are posted on the city website.
A little bit longer.
And then vacation. I'll be on vacation next week, so just as an FYI.
So we'll call you every day.
I won't answer. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Audra.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no updates.
Okay, thank you. Richard.
No updates for me.
What? Just kidding.
It's good to see
You're supposed to say it. You'll be at the Easter event Saturday. All right, Dan.
Mayor, the planning commission meets on April 6th, relatively full agenda, Meridian Fields, residential preliminary plat, Foss Swim School site and building plan review, an expansion of industrial building on South Queens Avenue in the older Frankfurt Township part of the city, and then the city's well house number 3 project.
Great, thank you. Ron.
No updates, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Sergeant Altmans.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it a little bit, Mayor, where I think it's important that relationships are formed with the different entities around the city. So as it pertains to, a water park that's in the city and how that emergency response works, that's important, and make sure that everybody's kind of on the same page. As far as the North Star Regional Treatment Center, we get a lot of calls there. That's just the circumstances. That's where we're at. Part of that discussion that I have with them when I meet with them a couple times a year is, mitigating, do we have to respond to this type of call, or what calls that we know that we have to respond to, what that looks like, what the EMS system looks like here in Wright County, specifically Otsego, just so that they're aware of that before they hit 911, that they know what type of vehicles are going to be showing up, and officers, EMS personnel, whatever, so that they can understand, they can make accommodations. And that has been successful. Initially, when we were responding, it was just kind of this mess of just a ton of people showing up, and they still had, a lot of staff and their clientele all kind of running around. They made changes over the years, knowing that when we respond, they do basically a clear the hallways kind of thing, where they just go, okay, law enforcement's going to be here, the fire department's going to be here, and there's going to be an ambulance that it's going to be here. They know to kind of clear the hallways and just give us our room, and there's a lot less prying eyes and maybe outside influence that can sometimes happen when there's a medical situation or whatever the case is. So that has been really successful, quite frankly, and they have been, the treatment center has been really open as far as my conversation with them. So I just kind of throw it out to as many entities as I can. So in the case of the hotel, I just kind of discussed with them some maybe some improvements that we could make to their emergency protocol and how they look at things. I told them from age 16 to 21, I was a lifeguard too. So I get when you get the lifeguard training, you kind of feel like all the weight is on you as a lifeguard, recognizing that's okay. Just get the ball rolling on the process, get 911 called, and the burden can be shifted. So just do what you can for the next couple of minutes until that next entity arrives. So that's really important to do, so that they don't feel all the stress on them, and then they're maybe sometimes focusing on the wrong things. So we'll see how that goes. But again, my point is, typically I'm trying to throw my business card at as many entities or different organizations that are in town to make sure, hey, if there's an improvement that can be made. I know we've done that with some of the warehouses over on Queens Avenue. We can understand an emergency response plan for them, as well as tell them to stop engine braking. So Otherwise, local stuff or some stuff that's been happening recently. We had nice weather on Saturday, so it's interesting how the dynamic of the call load and the different types of calls changes with just a single, like, I know that sounds really cliche, but it's interesting. One small day when we had winter, and here we have, 50, 60, 70-degree weather. The call load absolutely shot through the roof there on what was Saturday. That was really nice out. The different types of calls that we had, obviously, we have a couple pedestrian accidents in the area, bicycles getting hit. We just last night, St. Michael got hit with people stealing stuff out of cars because they wander around the middle of the night when it's nice and start pulling on car doors. So it just restarts that whole process and the different call load comes out. So
Reminder to lock your car doors.
please lock your car doors.
Keep your garage doors closed.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have unless you have any questions or anything else
Does
to add.
anyone have any questions? Well, it's going to be nice again on Wednesday.
We'll be ready.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thanks,
Thank
Jason.
you. Thank you. All right. If no one else has anything, then a motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tina, seconded by Michelle. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The meeting is ended. Thank you all for attending.